Hi, greetings, friends, and welcome to Jacque Howard's podcast, Jacque's Reach, Trenton 365. Take my tour of Trenton, Trenton Performing Arts. All of those things are wrapped up into all the work that I do. And one of the things that I'm really excited about is that I get this opportunity and this chance to the artists, friends that I know, to give them a space to share about what they're doing with a hope to really encourage people to get involved in the arts more, whether it's visual arts, performing arts. And one of those friends is Ruth Markoe. I'm bringing on Ruth right now. She's going to be talking about theater to go, and she's going to be talking about not only a little bit of the history of it, but what they have coming up for 2022. So Ruth, good morning. So nice to see you.
Hi, Jacque. It's a pleasure being with you again.
Awesome. And before we get started, I do see in the background that you got yourself a Yoda. So can you talk to us about the Yoda in the background?
Yes, I do. I got this Yoda a few years ago because it's my personal philosophy that everybody should have their own personal Yoda. And I do. And right now you're in my office and it's full of all kinds of toys and things, which is great for my grandkids to visit. Except for Yoda. My granddaughter, when she was little, made me put him in the closet.
I could imagine. I could imagine that Yoda could be a little scary for some people, especially if they. 7, and she's got it. So she's seen Star Wars. So let's talk a little bit about you and your passion for theater arts and what it's been able to do for you, not only internally, but also what you've been able to do with connecting to others in the community, providing a space and an opportunity for artists, etc. Can you just talk about that a bit?
Okay, well, I'm going to give you just a little bit of a background on myself. I've been involved in theater for as long as I can remember, and as an actor, mostly as an actor, but in 1992 I started Theater to Go. So it's been around for a long time, and what we started doing in those days was immersive, interactive comedy theater, like murder mysteries and things of that type, which we still do. That's still our stock and trade. But over the last 10 years or so, we've started producing regular plays, stage plays, mostly at Kelsey Theater, although not exclusively. And we've also developed, we've been developing a play about the Brooklyn Bridge called Roebling, the Story of the Brooklyn Bridge, which was written by a local playwright, Mark Violi. And we've already had actually three productions, full productions of it as Theater to Go. And in fact, we were just getting ready to open our 4th production of it in Bordentown 2 weeks after we shut down in 2020. So unfortunately, that one never got off the ground. We were hoping to bring it back up, but we will. It's a story that resonates for all time. I call it the story of the men who built the Brooklyn Bridge and the woman who finished it, and that was that. But anyhow. So in terms of my philosophy of theater, one of the reasons I really like immersive theater and audience participation stuff is that I think it's really important for people to play. I think most people stop playing around the age of 12. Actors never stop playing. So we sort of invite you to jump into the playground for a while. And I think it's just amazing how even people who seem to be fairly staid and, formal will really let their hair down when we give them an opportunity to perform with us. So it's audience participation, obviously guided by us and my actors. But it's just a whole lot of fun. So right now, where we are right now, after a 2-year hiatus of doing not much of anything, we have 2 murder mysteries coming down the pike at Daphne's restaurant in Bordentown, Daphne's Catering Hall in Hamilton on Coosa Road. We have one coming up in this month on the 16th, which is called Murder on the Waterfront, and another one in March 23rd, both Wednesday nights. And as a testament to how much people really are craving entertainment, the February show sold out in about 24 hours, and the other one is almost sold out now. So people really want to play, they really want to enjoy live theater, and they really want good food. So you really can't beat that. And then we're also getting ready to open at Kelsey Theater, our first production since 2020. We're getting ready to open Dial M for Murder, which is a stage murder mystery, not audience participation, but fun. It's the movie that was made famous by, the play that was made famous by the Alfred Hitchcock movie of 1954, Trial M for Murder. We're going to do our spin on it. So there we are. I mean, after a 2-year hiatus, we're moving full steam ahead and looking forward to it all. And the other thing that we do, by the way, you can stop me anytime you want because I talk about this
keep going. Keep going.
So the other thing that Theater to Go has always done is we provide, we're called Theater to Go because we're a traveling company. We don't have our own theater in our own space. So one of the things we do is we travel to places such as Daphne's to perform in their space, and more importantly, sometimes I think we do some corporate work where companies will hire us to come and do team building. We might get hired, say a company is doing a 2-week, let me start that again, a 2-day workshop. We'll come in between to kind of lighten the mood, or just for team building in general. And my feeling is that now that people are starting to come back to work after a long break, the employers might actually consider doing something like that to get everybody back on the same page again. And even if they work remotely, there will be times when everybody gets together in the same place. And this is a great way to kind of get to know each other again and let down your guard and just enjoy life a little bit. So I'm looking forward to doing much more corporate work also. And, you know, my company, I have actors that have been working with me from the beginning, practically. So we're ready to go. And that's pretty much it, you know, as far as Theater to Go is concerned.
I'm speaking with Ruth Markoe of Theater to Go, and you can find out more information on the Facebook page. There'll also be links when the audio is put up. The video is put up, so you can click right on that and you can go to the website. And as always, I encourage you to make sure that whoever the guests are on the programs that I bring to you, that you take a couple of moments, just reach out to them. Find out for yourself why I'm so enamored with them and the work that they're doing, and see if there's some synergy for you to get involved, for you to partner in some sort of capacity. Ruth just laid out that their Theater to Go is working with corporations and businesses, local restaurants, and always looking for partners. And remember, Theater to Go does not have a theater or an actual physical location. They move around to different locations. So that means if you have a space and you may want to try something different, if you have a team building opportunity, even for students in schools, this is an opportunity for you to reach out to Theater to Go and Ruth Markoe. So Ruth, you alluded to this earlier, and we've talked in the past about your passion for the Roeblings and the bridge, the Roebling Bridge, and the steel works that they helped to build the Brooklyn Bridge and the Golden Gate Bridge, pretty much any of those big bridges of that time. I'd like for you to talk about the historical component and using theater as a way to educate people about some historical components and some families that were actually right here in the communities in which we are.
Well, the Roebling story, of course, had its origins right here in Trenton. John Roebling, his factory was in Trenton, and one of the things I of course love about it is the local connection that had its reach all over the world. I mean, he developed the extensive use of these wound steel cables, which are holding up the Brooklyn Bridge. And once that was shown to be successful on a large scale like that, then all the following bridges, including all the bridges in New York, used that technology and the Golden Gate. But the thing I also like about that story is that it's a story about family connections and how the family worked together to do what they did, to accomplish what they did. And also, John Roebling was an immigrant. He came over from Germany in the 1800s, in the early 1800s, and started the success story of an immigrant, you know, also from Germany. But anyhow, the family connection is that historically what happened is John was the one who negotiated the contracts. He got the whole contract going. And before the bridge was actually started, he was injured in a ferry accident and 2 weeks later died because he refused medical care. Proper medical care. So he never actually saw the bridge start at all. But his son took it over. His son Washington took over the project, and Washington was a young married man who had had an illustrious career in the Civil War as a Union captain, I think. But whatever, he and Emily took over the project. Then he himself got sick and was unable to go down to the work site to give the men instructions. So Emily, in 1869 or 1871, whatever the year was that she got involved, became his voice and went down to the work site, to the men in the bridge, building the bridge. And she did that for 11 years. She taught herself bridge engineering, and with him in his apartment, watching through a telescope, they were able to complete the bridge. And she was in fact, the first person to cross the bridge, carrying a rooster symbolizing victory. And Washington never did cross the bridge at that time because he was homebound. And interestingly enough about Emily is that after this whole project, she went on to law school. So she was pretty much a pioneer in her own right, even though I don't think she considered herself that necessarily at the time. And she was much better known than she is today. So there you go. There's the men who built the Brooklyn Bridge, the woman who finished this.
Well, I want to get into that a little bit more because something that our relationship over the years has developed. I mean, you've been very outspoken about inclusion. You've been very outspoken about the things that you're passionate about, and giving equal opportunity to immigrants, to people of color, to women, and for them to be spaces, and also to work with children, to give them those opportunities as well. So thank you for what you've been doing with A Theater to Go. I want to go off into the weeds a little bit because something that you're also very passionate about is cycling and biking. And you do lots of different types of cycling and biking as well. And you're very involved in the community in Trenton with cycling, but also the surrounding Mercer County as well. I'd like for you to just talk about the dynamic of the different people who are in this community and how it kind of all interloops. Like, people who like cycling also like going to theater, and the friendships and things that you've been able to make over the years.
Well, cycling is my oxygen. During the pandemic, it's what kept me going, really, because I was able to get out during the pandemic and feel free. I didn't have to wear a mask when I was on a trail. It was just normal. And now it's killing me that the weather is so cold. I'm not able to get out. But anyways, cycling is absolutely my passion. And I got involved, I guess I met you actually by my involvement with the going out to some of the rides with the Trenton Cycling Revolution. And I met you and a number of other people that have really been part of my world. And also around that same time, I got involved with the Lawrence Hopewell Trail. And the Lawrence Hopewell Trail is another one of my passions. I learned about I live a mile away from the pole farm area, and I had no idea what the pole farm was until they started developing the track for the Lawrence Hopewell Trail, and I would bike there all the time. And as it turned out, I was invited to join the board of trustees for the Lawrence Hopewell Trail, which is where I am right now. And I'm very active in trying to get the word out about the Lawrence Hopewell Trail, especially right now to other communities. Even though it's called the Lawrence Hopewell Trail, it is open for everybody, all of Mercer County, and we're trying to find more and more ways to engage the cyclists from Trenton and Ewing and Plainsboro and all those other places to understand that this is for them too. And so we're actually, one of the things I'm doing now is I'm trying to do some outreach in one of my committees, the DEI committee, in fact, we're trying to find ways to reach out and make people from outlying communities that don't normally use the trail feel that this is a place for them as well. So, it's really important to me. And it's because of cycling. And of course, the Lawrence Hopewell Trail is not just for cyclists. It's for cyclists, it's for bird watchers, it's for hikers, it's for families just going out for the afternoon. You can have a picnic, it's a wonderful, wonderful facility. And the thing I like the most about it is that it's not just a trail through the woods that goes on for 15 miles. It's a 22-mile loop that goes through parks, it goes through corporate headquarters, it goes through neighborhoods. It just sees so many different parts of the county. So we really want to get the word out, and I'm glad to have the opportunity right here to do that too. And it's all sort of woven together because I love people. I love sharing what I love with people. It's the most important thing for me is to have people feel the passion that I do about the things that I'm passionate about. And cycling is it. I mean, that's what I really love. In fact, I've gone on many bike trips, including a few bike and barge trips in Europe, where we go out stay on a barge, and then we go out every day and bike. So I'm looking forward to another one this summer.
That's fantastic. So I'm speaking with Ruth Markoe, not only a cyclist, but also about theater, local theater, theater to go, professional theater experiences, opportunities for you to hire theater to go for team building initiatives, but also all different age demographics, etc. There's ways to have the theatrical arts implemented into team building, crowd building, encouraging events, etc. And Ruth Markoe of Theater to Go can do that. Remember, Theater to Go does not have a location, which is why they're named that. So they'll come to you and come to some other facilities. I do want you to also talk about your relationship with the murder mysteries at Daphne's Catering, which is happening on February 16th and March 23rd. And specifically, I want you to talk about it from the relationship of partnering with another business. Daphne's is an amazing diner catering service, well known in the Hamilton Township area or Hamilton Robbinsville area. And the food is amazing. The story is amazing as well. I'd like for you to chat a little bit about how that relationship got started with Daphne.
Well, we met Daphne many years ago when she was still in her facility in Robbinsville. She only had the one restaurant at the time. And we did several shows over, I don't know, a couple of years with her. And then that closed down. And then I think she was she was trying to start the diner or whatever. But since that time, she's become quite the entrepreneur. And I have the utmost respect for her. She is a dynamo. During the pandemic, when other restaurants were shutting down, she opened 2 places, and they're all highly successful. And she's when we were working for her in Robbinsville, and we were going to many other restaurants and venues and hotels at the time, we would always compare the food that we were given at other restaurants to Daphne's. It was always like Daphne was the gold standard, and everybody else had to rise up to that. So the food is amazing. She's an amazing woman. I have such respect and regard for her. And she approached me actually just a few months ago when things were starting to open up. And she said, now that she has this catering facility, she really wants to bring entertainment there on a monthly basis. So we're doing the first 2, and I'm going to help her if she wants me to. I'm going to help her bring other kinds of acts, like maybe comedies, sing-alongs, cabaret. We're going to try maybe even a magician or, whatever. So we're going to try to find ways of bringing entertainment to Daphne's. And she is very, very popular. When I said that we sold out in the first 24 hours, it was on her name more than on ours. But hopefully we'll be introduced to a greater group of people now. But so yeah, absolutely. Daphne's. She has the catering hall on Cruiser Road. She has a restaurant in Mercerville, and of course the diner on Route 130 is amazing. My husband and I went there for breakfast the other day, and now we have to go back and try everything on the menu because we were delighted with the 2 things that we had. So,
I'm gonna jump in there about Daphne's and about the food. And folks, I don't want you to get it twisted and think about, okay, well, it's just another restaurant, and run through your mind the ideas of the things that you see on a regular basis. That's not what Daphne's is doing. Very interesting takes and spins on traditionals, but also implementing different ingredients, locally sourced oftentimes, to the menu, and to have it presented in a different way so that you may say, oh, I'm not traditionally really interested in that. Try it. Just take a couple minutes, go with what the menu says, go with some of the Blackboard items, and just enjoy the experience. Because again, that's something else. That food is something that I think that we've gotten to a place where we're just throwing it in our bodies, not paying attention to all the hands that have touched it, giving the respect to the people who grow it, to process it, to ship it, to clean it, to cook it, and present it for us. I mean, that's all an art. And so I want to encourage folks, if you're in the area, if that's your thing, or even if it's not your thing, make sure you check out Daphne's catering and Daphne's Diner and things that she's doing there. But also,
I want to just say one more thing about Daphne. Is one of the things I really love about Daphne is that she engages with her audience. She engages with the people that come to her. She's not, in most restaurants, you don't even know who the owners are. You don't know, you just see the waiters and the maitre d' and everything. Daphne is out there with her people talking. Everybody knows her. Everybody loves her. So she, in a sense, that's why we blend, because I'm out there with my audience too. I want the audience to feel comfortable and to feel part of the gang. And she does the same thing. So it's kind of a good relationship that way, I think.
It's spot on. I think that's a great way to just about finish up. And Daphne's Catering in Hamilton Township on February the 16th, that show is sold out. But on March 23rd, these are both Wednesdays, is going to be a murder mystery put on by Ruth Markoe's Theater to Go. I do want to touch on the Lawrence Hopewell Trail one more time. And for the folks that are out there, the Lawrence Hopewell Trail and many other cyclists and environmentalist organizations are working together with many folks. Lawrence Hopewell Trail, the state DOT, Rider University, etc. We're trying to have a pedestrian bridge that's going to be built over 295 in Lawrence Township. Many folks who cycle in that area know how treacherous it is if you're riding on 206, but then trying to cross over the interstate on 206 is even more difficult. There aren't bike lanes. Sometimes the folks who are driving may not understand the rights of the roads, of cyclists, etc. So we've come up with this fantastic idea, and we did a presentation with and for many others to partner with Rider University through the athletic fields in the back, connecting the Johnson trolley line, and to build a pedestrian bridge. It's going to go over 95 and then reconnect the Lawrence Hopewell Trail, which will provide pedestrians and cyclists and others access to and enjoy Lawrence Township on both sides, and get to Lawrence Township and then also enjoy what's going north of Rider University. But more information on that is later. Myself and others at Trenton Cycling Revolution are trying to put together a ride from the Trenton Farmers Market to that location and back. It's about 8 miles. We're working on the details, myself, June King, and Wills Kinsley. So we'll have information on that soon, but that's coming down the pike. But in closing, Ruth Markoe, please make your last pitch or statement to the folks who are in the listening and viewing audience.
Okay, well, one thing I did want to say, I wanted to give a shout out also to Kelsey Theater, which we didn't spend enough time on, but Kelsey Theater is a wonderful, wonderful theater on the campus of Mercer County College. It is not strictly a college theater. In fact, it is a place where local theater companies come. There are 10 resident companies that produce plays there on a regular basis. They were closed up until this year. Now they're open. We have a season now. They've had a couple of shows already from a couple of different companies. Right now, they're doing Maurer Productions on Stage is doing a show called Scenery, followed by Popcorn Falls, and then other shows are coming in. We're coming in March with Dial M for Murder. Please, please, please check out Kelsey Theater. They are very careful about vaccination and masking and all that stuff. It is a large space. Come see our shows. Kelsey Theater, look it up, get yourself some tickets, and definitely come see Dial M for Murder, because it's going to be great.
Awesome. Ruth Markoe, thank you so much. Blessings to you and yours. Can't wait to see you on 2 wheels. It looks like things are going to be warming up soon, and all the work that you're doing. As soon as the
weather gets warm, I'll be there. I'll be out there again.
And thank you for all the work that you're doing, promoting and encouraging folks to appreciate history and also the arts, and to come out of their houses and be engaged and meet other human beings. Thank you so much, and blessings to you.
Thank you, Jacque. I really appreciated this.
No, you're welcome. And there you have it, folks. Just another conversation with one of the amazing human beings that are in my life, that are in my network, that has a skill set that I don't have. So it behooves me to, pick their brain, ask them some questions, get them to share what's going on in their world, so that can then hopefully enlighten and edify my life. Jacque Howard here. Reach out to me, jacquesreach@gmail.com. And in closing, remember, it's always about justice, peace, and humility.